$20 from K2 Keep On Trucking, which is actually $20.
Kel said give her 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. She's like, got to walk her dog.
Yeah. Can Indian Jesus and Confluence debate if holding hands is gay? Look at the capital letters wink.
It's such a
wild debate, bro.
Just to explain the rules one more time.
Minute, right? Yeah.
You each get 1 minute to make your case. I need to know who's going to take the affirmative that it is in fact gay. I can't.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out.
That's wrong button. I'm sorry. My labels are messed up.
Well,
anyway.
okay. So let me just give.
So
before we start debating, what's your stance?
I will take no. It is not gay. I'll take no. It's not.
Okay.
Gay.
So
okay, sure.
You're the affirmative. He's the not affirmative. Or the negative. So Confluence will go first. He'll get his minute. Once he's done, we'll let Indian Jesus go. Confluence, when you're ready, start talking, and I will start the clock.
Okay, I just think, especially from a Western point of view, obviously culturally, holding hands between two men is just obviously gay. Like anyone would acknowledge that if you saw two people walking down the street, it would be gay. And so I think I have an easy W on that path. So I'll even extend globally. I'll do you a favor, Indian Jesus. I'll extend to the global market. I think that just from a physiological perspective of physical touch is an act of intimacy. And that intimacy begets romance very quickly. So I think two men holding hands just becomes the entrance into homoeroticism is so evident, is so clean. The pathway is just beveled for that to happen, that I just think it ends up becoming gay. Because when you have physical touch between a man and a woman, obviously everyone would admit globally, if you held hands with a woman, that would be romantic. And so I would, I guess, like to hear an argument why holding hands with a man wouldn't also be then homo-romantic.
Time. That's the first time you've gone over in a while.
So,
all right. Just start talking. I'll start the clock. Just start talking and I'll start the clock.
So I completely agree with you. The prompt was not about gay men. The prompt was about holding hands. And as you said in your opening, holding hands with anyone can be or is romantic or implies that. But the prompt had nothing to do about men. It just said holding hands. And so I would just say that, yeah, two men holding hands is gay, but holding hands in and of itself is not gay. You holding the hand of a woman is not gay. I can leave it there, actually. A man and a woman holding hands is not gay.
It was two men holding hands. That was a prompt. I'm sorry.
Thank God.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not? Hold on.
Holding hands is gay. Look at the capital letters.
Let me pause. Hold on. Let me. No, he did it. He skipped that part. He did.
Holding hands.
There it is.
Oh my God.
He trolled you, but he didn't finish the troll. He left out the most important part of the troll.
I wouldn't. But I mean, I'm down to do I'll take another, if you want to give me another minute to actually talk about the two men, I could do that.
Yeah. Let's just, I understand where he was going with that. And otherwise, so did Confluence.
Okay.
But I need the win. I need everybody to acknowledge that I just
destroyed. That was great because when I read it as the typical troll prompt.
Me too, yeah.
But that's solid, man. That's solid. I'll restart your time, sir.
Okay, so I do think that holding hands implies two men holding hands implies that they're gay. But you said, I would say that's mostly in the Western context, and then of course you opened it up and did me such a huge favor, and we see across the world that not only holding hands, but kissing on the face, little. That kind of stuff, and so it just doesn't inherently mean that. If I walk down the street and see two men holding hands, I will assume that they're gay. But then we can talk about what if we have a father and an autistic son and an adult son. Then two men holding hands, that still two men holding hands, not gay. How much time do I have?
15 seconds.
Right, I can stop there.
All right.
Give my time.
All right, guys.
Really?
He literally said too. He's like, I never said that. He trolled.
Words have meanings, baby.
That's a solid troll right there. That is solid. I
Uno
like it.
reverse.
Yeah, you got me. You got me. All right. 5 minutes on the clock. Just start talking, and I'll start the clock.
Okay, so you do inherently admit that at least it would imply homosexuality.
Yes.
In most people, and I feel like the fact that you have to use fringe examples, I think kind of proves my point. The exception proves the rule, that if you see two men holding hands, at least, and you even agreed, you conceded in the West that you would think that's gay. Now, what do you think of my argument that just physiologically, physical touch is tied to romance if you're physically touching somebody, right? Where's the line? Like, how much you have to touch another man before it becomes gay? Obviously, it leads to homosexuality. I think the pathway is very clear on that.
I agree. And this, I never understood why this was a thing. It never happened in my groups of friends, but especially in high school. And then I wasn't in a frat, but I lived with a frat in college. And there was a lot of just like, homoerotic, like, oh, bro, slapping ass and like pretending to be gay and stuff like that. And so, I mean, maybe it is meant to imply that, hey, look, we're gay because we're buddies and ha, 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 ha. Again, I don't think it inherently means that. And that was the problem.
That's a little gay, right? Like if you're in a frat and you're slapping your bro's butt and you're like, kind of tugging at his ball sack a bit, that's at least a little gay, right?
So what?
At least a little bit.
So then we have to drill down into what is the threshold for something being gay.
I think being gay is anything that can be considered as romantic or sexual between two people of the same gender. And I would say that, the examples you gave, the examples I gave, surely, are at least what we would call, quote unquote, gay.
So would you, hopefully this is not too big of a pivot, but if we talk about in sports where, like slapping your ass after a big play or something, would you consider that in the same realm?
I don't know if I would consider it in the same realm. I mean, it's possibly slightly homoerotic. I think there's maybe a little history there, but I think holding of the hands, I mean, we have, and you would concede holding of the hands is flesh on flesh. I mean, just look at that. I mean, man, flesh against flesh. To me, I mean, that's something. If a man does that against a woman, if I hold a hand with a woman, my thoughts are automatically romantic. Would you concede that if you held the hands of someone who is the opposite gender, you'd be thinking this is a romantic and or sexual thing? So
yes,
why would we say with the guy?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because we live in an age where most of the youth are completely confused, and the only way that they have to live in the world is by their gender identity. And so, depending on if you're going to call all, I don't even know all the words, but all like the polyamorous, gender bender people, if that all fits in gay, then
it absolutely does, brother.
I would disagree. I think gay is specifically same-sex attraction.
So you think if someone's in a polycule, you think if Destiny's in a polycule and he's holding
so if we have Destiny
boyfriend's hand, you don't think that's a little gay?
I do, but that doesn't mean that they are doing that. So that doesn't mean that they're doing it for that reason. You're assigning a motive to what they're doing. You and I can both agree from the outside it looks gay.
You would say it's not objectively
people might say
gay.
I look gay. People might say I look like a woman, but that doesn't make it true.
Wait, so you think? Are you actually conceding that you're saying Destiny holding hands with his with his wife's boyfriend? You don't think that's objectively gay?
I do, but I am not the arbiter.
Objectively, not what you and me subjectively think. You don't think it's objectively gay?
No.
That's crazy.
I think he is gay, and that in my personal opinion, I think that's pretty gay. Yeah,
but you don't think that is not homoeroticism going on. You don't think there's any if you put like how they in psychological experiments they can put like little sensors on your penis to like determine arousal. You don't think if Destiny was holding hands with his wife's boyfriend, you don't think the sensor?
Well, you're using Destiny because you already know his sexual proclivity.
Well, no, I'm just saying you said polycule. I'm just using it as like a common
so then
example. But anyone in a polycule.
Let's take somebody who you don't know what their stuff is, and you see them, and they're two queer people. One is a man and one is a woman, and they're holding hands. Oh no, it's okay. That wouldn't be it. So we have pretty gay.
Two queer. Yes, it's pretty gay.
I didn't prepare for the second part. I just prepared to win. But I think that we are, and of course, guys, obviously, Destiny's gay is just anything.
But anyone in a
what I-
poly
the
pool,
point
any
that I-
two
but-
men and a woman, and
But the
two guys
point
are
I'm trying
holding
to
hands,
the
you would
point I'm
say
trying to
that is
drill down
gay.
on. The point that I'm trying to drill down on is not that we can look at this and question, I don't know if that's gay. The prompt being that is gay. I don't know in any given circumstance.
Wow.